Hey everybody, happy Friday. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying thanks to the people at Hy-Vee last night for that great beer dinner, beer tasting, food pairing. They were real nice to me. They gave me a table all by myself. You couldn't really tell it from the video, but I had a table all to myself, so I could set up the camera and everything and do my reviews without being disturbed. That was really nice, especially thanks to Matt from Boulevard for being such a great guy. He brought me down a couple beers. We drank one of them. We drank after the tasting was over. We split one of them, this year's version of the Rye on Rye. I'm definitely gonna have to pick up a couple more of those next time I go on one of my out of town trips. But darn good beer. It was a little less bourbon forward than I think last year's was. Still got one bottle of last year's aging, but anyway, to get to the review, I'm going to do one I've had for a little while. It's on the shelf here at the local store, so it's a Schlafly. I don't know if you can see that, the 21st anniversary. Their Single Malt Scottish Ale. A little bit from the website. It says brewed in limited supply in celebration of our 21st anniversary. Available beginning mid-November 2012 while supplies last. It just appeared a couple of weeks ago on our shelf, and I figured I'd better pick one up. It says Schlafly Single Malt Scottish Ale is brewed with a single variety of barley, Optic, from the Cook family farm in Scotland, owned by our co-founders' in-laws. The flavor of the Optic is balanced by British hops for bitterness and a UK yeast strain for a fresh, bready flavor. We aged the beer in freshly emptied Highland Scotch Whisky barrels from the Glen Garioch Distillery, only 10 miles from the farm where the barley was grown. And I'm sure I mispronounced that name. It says our Single Malt Scottish Ale is offered in celebration of the 21st anniversary of Schlafly Beer. This 2012 vintage will age well in a cool, dark place for several years. It is ready to enjoy now. I think that's a typo, but it is ready to enjoy now. Comes in at 10.2% ABV, 25 IBUs. Been sitting on this for a week or so. I figured, what the heck, I'll get it, and if it's good, I will probably get myself a couple more. So let's get this in the glass and see what we have. I was gonna do an outside review today. It's almost 30 degrees and sunny and everything. Fairly decent day for late January, but really strong wind. We got a wind chill of about, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees. So, and I know this camera is terrible in the wind. So we got some warmer days coming up next week. I've got a few days off next week, so try to get outside and do one. But anyway, we got a nice, not a ton of carbonation streaming up, nice copper orange colored beer. Really beautiful looking beer. I don't know if you can see that. Got a finger of a really slightly off-white head, closer to white than off-white though. Really nice looking beer. It's already leaving some nice lacing down the glass, so let me get a nose on it. Okay, getting lots of scotch, a little caramel, a little toffee, definitely some vanilla, some oakiness from that barrel aging. I think, what did they say, 10 months? I don't know. I can't remember how long they aged it. I think it said somewhere on the side. I missed that. Didn't write it down, but I think it's about 10 months in these barrels. So these old whiskey barrels. Definitely get a little peatiness, little smokiness right up front there in the nose. Got some breadiness, got some cereal grains, got some light fruits like apples and pears, and then it kind of finishes the tail end of that aroma is kind of a woody smokiness. Really good smelling. Well, they call it Scottish ale. I think it's a Scotch ale, but anyway, let's get a taste on it. Okay, yeah, it starts with a really dry caramel taste. Little bit of that oakiness. There's some alcohol, definitely alcohol noticeable. 10.2%. Definitely getting that Scotch whiskey and some fruitiness. Again, like apples, pears, that sort of thing. Not any darker fruits. Finish is pretty warm. There's some alcohol heat there on the finish. A little bit rough. Got some woodiness. The whiskey, the peat. Just a nice big Scotch caramel malt flavor, that's for sure. It ends, like I said, it ends with the whiskey notes, some sweet malts, your light fruits. There's some light hops in there. I said they used UK hops, but I don't know what they use. But and a little, almost softer peat note to it there on the finish. It's not quite as balanced as a nose, I don't think, but it still tastes pretty good. It's fairly rich. It's definitely heavy on the whiskey. Has a medium to almost medium full-bodied, bit grainy, a little rough with that with what carbonation is in there, along with that alcohol. But it's really got that sweet malt booze finish. So let me sip on this a while, warm it up. I'm going to get this bottle sealed up, save the rest of it for later, and I'll be back after a while with the final thoughts and grade. Okay, I'm back. It's been half an hour or so. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is a beer that's definitely could use some age on it. I'm definitely going to go out. It's still on the shelves. I'm going to go out and pick up a couple more bottles. Maybe one to set back for a year or two, and one for trades if I got any trades coming in the near future. If somebody likes Scotch whiskeys or Scotch ales or Scotch whiskey, because there's a lot of whiskey in this, I think aging will tone that down some. But you know, single malt, single hop. They don't say and single yeast, so. They don't say what the hops, it just says British hops. So I don't know, maybe that's not single, but anyway, in this incarnation, fairly fresh for a Scottish ale / Scotch ale. I'm going to give it a good, I'm still going to give it a good solid 8.5 out of 10. I think maybe with a year or two on it, it might get closer to that 10 category, but it's not there yet. It does need some aging, but darn good beer. If you see it, if you can still see it on the shelf, I'd pick one up. I know those of you in Missouri may be able to get two, but so far I've been really impressed with Schlafly Beers, and I'm not disappointed with this one at all. Like I said, a little age will help it a lot. So, till next time, everybody, the Schlafly Single Malt Scottish Ale. You can't really see that. The light's pretty bad here. I got Schlafly on the side there. Anyway, 8.5 out of 10. Till next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beers.